Hi everybody, welcome to week 11. We are getting there. I've already started reviewing some of your reflection papers and NEPD forms from last week, and they are looking really good. So as we're about to start the last full month of our time together, March, I just want to make sure that everyone is looking at their hours and has a really good plan in place to make sure that you're completing all of those before the end of the course. And you're supposed to really complete them by like week 15 or something, but as long as they're turned in before the last day of the course, I'm okay with it, all right? The other thing is, please make sure that you're documenting those in Typhon, that your preceptor is signing them off. I don't go in and check and monitor those. Really, I just follow on your NEPD forms to make sure that you're moving along at a good pace. But at the end of the course, you'll be taking screenshots on your computer of the hours that have been logged in on Typhon and uploading them as proof that you've completed your hours. So just kind of a heads up on that. All right, so we are focusing this week on preparing to teach the lesson plan that you've created. And I know some of you are kind of at different points along the way of when your teaching is going to occur, but the DQ and the assignment this week are about preparing to teach that lesson plan. So teaching can definitely be nerve-wracking at times, and this is especially true if you're dealing with maybe new subject matter that you haven't taught a brand new group of students, or maybe you're teaching in a setting that's a little different from what you would normally be at for teaching. So but the more experience you gain, the more you know your topic, the more you've practiced, the easier it does get down the road. Although I will say that those butterflies never really totally go away, which is probably a good thing because that keeps us on our toes and keeps us making our teaching fresh, right? So let's have some good discussion this week about this topic, and then maybe we can share some helpful strategies that we can share with each other about getting through some of those maybe nerve-wracking experiences. All right, so there's also a paper due this week. Of course, there's always a paper due, right? You are asked to practice your teaching in front of friends, peers, or family, and then gain feedback and reflect on that experience, right? When I first started teaching, I would practice certain strategies to see how long they actually took to implement, because usually I only had a certain, period of time to address the content. And sometimes it can really be surprising how either long or short some strategies or even a lecture component can actually take. So practicing can be really helpful. And practicing in front of others can help to identify things like saying a lot. If you're doing it excessively, people can tell you about that. I use my hands all the time when I talk. Born and raised back east, it's one of those things. But things that are overly distracting to students can be identified during a practice setting. And hopefully you're teaching in front of people who like you so they can give you helpful feedback, right? So this assignment is only 200 to 400 words, so it's just a brief one. I'm really mostly interested in your perceptions, but the rubric does call for at least one reference, so you need to put one reference in there. And again, it can be a reference about a method of presenting. It can be a reference about reflection. It can be a reference about something you want to change. It doesn't matter. All right. So I'll share with you about a recent teaching experience that I had. I recently had an opportunity to provide a teaching demonstration to a group of experienced educators, right? And I've been in education for over 15 years, and I still find myself a little bit nervous. So, but once I started my presentation, I felt a little nervous, and I thought my voice was just a tad bit shaky. But once I got past those first 2 minutes, it was in the zone. Everything I practiced just came forward, And, you know, it actually went really, really well. And I think my enthusiasm for the topic was really evident. But this is really what I wish for you, all of you, that when you're teaching, you really almost let yourself go and just get in the zone of really loving, passionately sharing your knowledge and the topics and drawing your students in and seeing those light bulbs go off, which is so cool. That's really what my wish is for all of you. All right, guys, I think that's it for this week. I'll see you in the main forum.